You're sitting at another overpriced brunch you didn't even want, splitting a massive bill you definitely can't afford just to keep the peace. The painful truth is that your social circle might be the exact reason your savings account is sitting at zero. And I'm not talking about bad friends. I'm talking about good friends with expensive taste. The kind of women who genuinely love you, but whose lifestyle runs about $800 a month more than yours. And because you love them back, you've been quietly matching every dinner, every trip, it's just one round of drinks for years now. That silent matching game has a name. It's called the social obligation tax. And it is absolutely bleeding you dry. Here's the part nobody tells you. The most dangerous spending in your life is never the stuff you chose. It's the spending you felt you had no choice about. Before we even get to the list, sit with that. Because the moment you start separating your genuine desires from your socially obligated ones, you will find hundreds of dollars a month that were never actually yours to spend in the first place. That's the shift. Now let's break down exactly where it's happening. Point 1. The group chat guilt trip. Starts innocently. Someone drops a restaurant link. A few heart emojis pile up. And suddenly there's a silent social consensus. And opting out feels like a personal rejection of the entire friendship. That's not an accident of group dynamics. That's a real psychological phenomenon called social proof. Basically, when everyone around you is doing something, your brain interprets non-participation as social risk. You're not being weak. You're being human. But that restaurant, on a Tuesday, costs $90 with tip and an Uber. Do that twice a month and you're looking at over $2,000 a year. Just in peer pressure dining. Point 2. The birthday obligation spiral. There are 12 months in a year. If you have a solid friend group of 8 women, statistically you're attending 6 to 8 birthday events annually. A gift, a dinner, maybe a bar tab contribution. We're talking $75 to $150 per celebration minimum. That's potentially $1,200 a year spent celebrating other people. And feeling genuine guilt if you spend even $1 less than everyone else. The gift-giving arms race is real, and it's exhausting. The unspoken rule is that your gift communicates how much you value the friendship. That's not friendship. That's a financial performance review with a cake. Point 3. The destination bachelorette effect. She sends the itinerary. It's a 4-day trip to Nashville or Scottsdale or Miami. The Airbnb split looks reasonable. Until you add the flights, the matching outfits, the bar crawl wristbands, the just a few activities, and the inevitable group dinner where everyone orders like they're on an expense account. The average bachelorette trip now runs between $900 and $1,500 per guest. And there's a specific kind of social hostage situation that happens in those group chats, where declining feels like you're punishing the bride. You're not. You're protecting your financial life. But the guilt is engineered to feel exactly that heavy. Point 4. The lifestyle match trap. Think about Priya, a 34-year-old marketing manager pulling in $68,000 a year. Her closest friends are 2 income brackets above her. 2 are married, 1 has a dual-income household. 1 got an inheritance. They don't flaunt it. They're genuinely lovely. But they shop at a certain level, vacation at a certain level, and eat at a certain level. And Priya has been quietly funding a lifestyle she cannot afford for 3 years just to stay in the room. She's not living her financial reality. She's living theirs. And her credit card balance reflects every single dinner she said yes to, when every logical cell in her brain was screaming no. Point 5. The it's not that much minimization. This one is particularly insidious because it comes from people who genuinely love you. It's just $30. Come on, it's one night. You deserve it. They mean well. But they are not inside your budget. They don't know your rent went up. They don't know you've been aggressively trying to build your emergency fund. And because you don't want to explain, you just say yes. That minimization, it's not that much, is the sentence that has quietly stolen more money from women than almost any retail trap I can name. because it happens in every single social situation, and the small amounts stack into something enormous. Point 6. The even split trap. The check arrives at the table. Someone says, "Should we just split it evenly? It's easier." And everyone nods. But you ordered the soup and a sparkling water. The woman across from you ordered 2 cocktails, a shared appetizer and the salmon. Splitting evenly in that moment is not convenience. It is a quiet transfer of money from your wallet to cover someone else's choices. And saying, "Actually, can we just do separate checks?" In that moment, feels like declaring yourself cheap in front of everyone you care about. It is not cheap. It is completely rational. But the social shame attached to it is suffocating. Point 7. The quiet resentment savings killer. Here's what's actually dangerous about the social obligation tax. It doesn't just steal your money. It steals your emotional energy. Maya, a 29-year-old teacher, tracked her discretionary spending for 3 months. She realized that nearly 60% of it was social spending she hadn't genuinely wanted. She wasn't building wealth. She was funding other people's good time while quietly resenting every transaction. And resentment is a savings killer, because it creates emotional spending in response. "I already blew the budget anyway," becomes the justification for 3 more impulsive purchases that same week. The obligation spending triggers the emotional spiral. The emotional spiral triggers the comfort spending. It is a cycle. Point 8. The "I'll catch up later" myth. The most expensive lie in personal finance is not about credit card interest. It's "I'll start saving seriously once things slow down." And things never slow down, because the social calendar never empties. There's always another trip, another wedding, another birthday dinner. The women who actually build wealth quietly, without making a big announcement about it, are not waiting for a slower season. They are the ones who started saying a quiet, guilt-free no a long time ago, and redirected that money systematically every single month. Here's the real math. If the social obligation tax is costing you a conservative $400 a month, and for most women in a moderately active social circle, that number is closer to $600. That is $4,800 disappearing annually into social performance. Over a decade, invested even modestly, that number would make your jaw drop. The behavioral fix is not stop being social. It's building what financial psychologists call a social script. A pre-decided, calm, one-sentence response you have ready for every invitation that doesn't align with your actual financial reality. Not an excuse. Not an apology. Just a boundary. "That one doesn't work for me, but let's grab coffee next week," is not rejection. It is the sentence that eventually separates the women who wonder where their money went from the women who quietly build $400,000 while appearing to live completely normal lives. The moment you stop performing wealth you don't have, you start actually building it. And that identity shift from social spender to quiet wealth builder connects directly to something even deeper. Because the women who never have money anxiety aren't just saying no to brunches. They've rewired their entire daily routine around a set of habits that the average person never even notices. Click the video on your screen right now, and let's pull back the next layer to expose how the silent daily rituals of financially unbothered women are built from the ground up, and exactly why yours might be missing them.